Hey, it's a Scotch test.
Oh, yeah. You go.
Go.
You.
Hey, it's a Scotch test dummies. We got Weller, special reserve, and new haircut.
Woo! And that's not talking about my hair. We're going to test it! I got all thread.
Hairstyle.
I think I got a fur ball.
I like it when you do that, when you you do your test it
like the
value
little,
style.
You like
and then you add like the
little
for
thing
whatever.
Really?
You know,
sometimes they miss with you. Sometimes they miss.
Well,
there's the one that just there's one that
if it's not
being
related.
edited right now. The push your neighbor. That
well,
one you didn't like that one.
That was dumb.
It's contradiction. That's all I had to do was I know, but all I had to do was hit like one contradiction, and I was thinking, well, what's a good contradiction?
292.
I got 297.
Now you have. We always start off with a Scotch God shout out. I am letting Bart, not digress, divert a little bit here.
Divert.
We've got a Scotch God board game shout out from Bart's board game channel.
Right. Just to prove equal opportunity haters out there. If you like board games at all, check out Bonding with Board Games. The shows don't come out there nearly as frequently as they do here, but in the Scotch God shout out mode of we love to read stuff where people trash us on occasion. Not that we want it to all be negative,
right.
But we don't steer away from negative comments. Matter of fact, what do? We steer into.
Right.
You steer into the skid.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had an interesting deal. Great Monkey King X. Sorry, I still got something caught in there. Had, and like a month prior, had given me his personal cell phone number and said, if you're ever in New York.
Just Great Monkey King X. That sounds like a bad translation.
Spent some time on it. Yeah, Great
like
Monkey
he had,
King X.
like he wrote a book and he had say a Japanese interpreter translate it.
It's involved, and it takes up some real estate on there for that. But so I remember thinking, well, first, I don't even know the person, sent me a deal saying if you're ever in New York, sent me a private message, call me and I can show you some stuff and blah. And I'm like, okay, that's neat, but I was just like, fine, thanks. In the true spirit of bipolar, a month later, I get this. Now, I had been reviewing a game on the Peloponnesian War. Yeah, I know, I lost half of you right there. Claire the Third, though, wants to know the name of the game. It's called Victory or Death. Wow. That was Justin. All right, so I get this. I mispronounced what turns out is called the Delian or the Delian League. Probably just did it right there. One of you is cursing and calling me a name. So I got, from Great Monkey King X, I get long E, capitalize the E and quotes it, as in dealing cards, but in Delian. Please pronounce correctly. Now, I'm good so far. You can give me corrections all day long. I'll mess up my pronunciations of bottles and my Peloponnesian Wars. Then he says, I don't need ignorant beeps making my kids sound stupider. I'm sure most, I don't know why his kids would be watching that. I'm sure, I'm sure most beeps have never heard of the Delian League. He was referencing my day job there, and would be happy to burn all the books that mention it. What the hell? It's like I turned into a Nazi all of a sudden right there. I'm a book burner because I can't say Delian League. I don't think that beeps, my job, are cool. Most are ignorant, uncaring, egotistical thugs. I was like, wow. However, if you can't pronounce something, which again we know on this show I can't, search, quote, how to pronounce, end quote, word in question, dash, on YouTube. I actually tried that. It does work. I don't know if I want to break up my flow, though. Hey, this is like his catch, though. It's not all bad. Hey, I realize you're a nice guy. but please make an effort to not miseducate our children. This is not like a children's show. I'm just throwing it out. You don't have to be a genius, and this is where he leaves, to use YouTube, but you do have to make an effort. So first of all, the message here is we don't have to be a genius to use this YouTube thing. Yeah. And all I said was,
I'll look you up when I'm in New York.
Yeah, can't wait. Glad I got your number. I almost called him and just said, beep, F you, effer.
I'm on my way right now. We're going to hang out.
Delian League, biatch. That's what I want to say. Not dealing league or whatever. And then I said, laugh out loud, ellipsis. My mom always said I was as nice as I had to be, which really says a lot if you think about it. There's a point where Mom said, unleash the Kraken. All right, so that was a long one. But every once in a while, I actually had commenters coming in and saying, wow, that was a pretty classy response to a D comment.
Did you pin it so it goes to the top?
I did not pin it. I guess that would have been fun. I usually don't pin. I don't know. I don't
ever think to do that either. Yeah. We should do that more often.
Yeah, pinning's good. You pin it to the top. I like that.
Sweet honey cherries. Honeyed cherries.
Now, you mentioned you hadn't had this. Here it's pretty much everywhere. It's, of course, a wheated bourbon, but special reserve 45% ABV.
Yeah, so this is Weller, their entry-level bourbon. We've reviewed the 107, Antique 107, which is a higher proof. It's 53.5%. We've done the Weller 12. We've never done the Weller Special Reserve.
Right.
So, here it's $17, $18. So I was in the store the other day and I said I'm going to pick it up and give it a go.
It's a heck of a good value price for what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's got a real nice sweet caramel, little butterscotch notes. Yep. It zings you in with that malted grain, that kind of wheated, softer, almost floral notes that are in there. Yeah. Comes in real soft, real smooth, real approachable.
So those that don't know, Weller is a wheated bourbon. In fact, I think it says the original wheated bourbon on there. It does, the original wheated bourbon. This is bottled at 45% ABV, by the way.
I was hoping for the non-original.
Yeah. So a wheated bourbon, what they do is replace, a bourbon's 51% corn. And then the other 49% can be made up of more corn. It can be made up of wheat, rye, or barley.
Yeah, malted or unmalted.
So what they've done with a wheated bourbon is replace. They're not using any rye generally, and they're using just wheat.
And this is Kentucky straight, so it's at least 2 years old.
So they generally come off a little smoother, a little lighter, a little sweeter. You don't get those rye spice notes. There's usually not any black pepper or any of the dill, the rye, any of that.
Yep. Bottled by Buffalo Trace. And Buffalo Trace really puts out some good stuff.
Yeah. And as we did our 16-bottle blind bourbon shootout, I advanced a wheated bourbon in it, Maker's Mark.
Yes, you did. Surprised yourself.
What do you got the Weller's 12 for?
Bringing that out. I had not opened this. This has gotten a little hard to find. Mm-hmm. And Whiskey Scout had found it. Said, do you want it? It was at a decent price, really the price it should be at. Because it's kind of been known as the poor man's pappy, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that it? Yeah. And so a lot of people started snatching it up. And I said, sure, grab it for him. I remember when we had it on the show, I liked it. Mm-hmm. It's nothing I would pay the overinflated prices for.
Sure. Yeah,
but
it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, I think this was $46 or something dollars, maybe $50. So here you're talking, what, 19 you said?
$17, $18, depending on what store you go in.
And we thought, why not crack it open? I hadn't opened this yet. Crack it open and give it a little taste in comparison. So
let's do that, but let's finish up the Weller.
Yeah, I just wanted to let it air a little bit since it hadn't been cracked.
And I'm going to put coin $2.95 on.
Nice. I think $2.96. I may have got my coins. $2.96, $2.97.
Okay, so yeah, Weller's 12 here. Weller 12.
Well, you just opened this and really started attacking.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really a lot better than I thought it would be, than I was expecting for an entry level, for a $17, $18 bottle.
Yeah, smooth and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not harsh at all. It's
anything around $20. That's really good.
I sat outside with a cigar that night. Had a post on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, everything I've said, nothing's changed. It's good, solid.
Let me add just a
Well,
splash of water in there with
a
it.
drop of water as well. Just see if that changes anything up. Opens it up. The nose is real caramel, sweet, powdered sugar, cotton candy. Almost reminds me of a fair, a little state fair. So, yeah, pleasant dram all the way around. I'm really surprised with that. Are you nosing the 12?
I have not yet. I was just looking at the color. They're pretty darn close.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's sweet. The honeys, cherries, cinnamons, caramels, butterscotch.
You get cherries?
Yeah. Me, when I cracked it and poured it on the nose right away, I thought cherries, which I get with.
I get a little dusty
Wheatons.
grain.
Yeah.
Dusty malted grain in there.
Let's score.
Good call, and then we'll touch the 12.
We had a commenter or two one time. We just jumped in and started comparing back and forth right away, and we really never gave the one bottle its true review.
Sounds like
someone had pointed out, hey, finish up your review here and then
dummies,
do the comparison.
You got all distracted, and it was hard to follow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Didn't know which one you were talking about. You were going back and forth.
That is definitely us. Good call. I'm going to say 86 on this. I really do like it. That is good.
I said 88.
There you go.
It's right in there with you. And I'm
great.
generally a point or two higher than you.
Generally, but no, that's really good standard.
And is it worth it? Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to have to give me some.
Yeah. I may have found a new daily sipper, honestly. For that, and I don't know why we've never picked it up or tried it. And even Antique 107, it's become scarcer. You can still find it here. The prices have started to climb a little bit on it. I've seen it up to $40, which isn't bad compared to some areas. Generally, it's $25 to $30 for a fifth. Weller 12, I saw a bottle the other day in one of our shops that we go to, $149.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. That is I was like, oh, come on, guys.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But the bad part is people are paying. People are paying that for it, and that's dumb. That's
well, what
I don't want to say it's dumb.
Gillespie had something where was it? It was at I can't even remember. Somebody had a bottle, and was it in the Qatar or something? I think it was in the Middle East, and someone said there was a Pappy 19-year for $2,500 or something. I can't remember where it was.
Well, there isn't a 19-year.
Well,
that would be an odd bottling, or maybe an older bottling.
Not that, then. What is it?
There's 15. There's a 10, 12, 15, 21, and 23.
Got it.
Is that
Just
right?
go with 21. I can't remember. Go watch Gillespie show. I'm pretty sure it was on there. It was on his ridiculousness.
To come in, we have a bottle of the Van Winkle 12-year Lot B. We've done it. It is the same mash bill as the Weller 12. It's from the same distillery. It's aged in a different area of the warehouse, and supposedly it's better. I've had it side by side a couple of times, and with a couple of friends, I've pulled out Weller 12 next to the Van Winkle. I can't tell the difference between the two.
People love to yell out, "Pappy!"
But now, yeah, people are paying $600 for a bottle of Van Winkle 12.
Okay, whatever.
It's right. Outrageous.
Yeah,
it's a 12-year-old whiskey.
Good
I would
marketing.
think you would
Good
anybody
marketing.
that pays $600. Well, no, the distillery's not making it. They're selling it for $50 a bottle. That's what the distributors are paying for it.
I'd quit selling it direct. I'd just be like, you know what? We're only selling it here in Kentucky. You got to drive here to get it.
Yeah,
and we'll sell it for $350.
Just double. They say $100 a bottle. Just double your money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd quit.
I would think anybody that pays $600 for a bottle of Van Winkle 12 would have to be disappointed when they taste it. Anybody that tastes it and goes, "Woo, yeah, that's worth it. That's good. That's a $600
bottle." That's not how it
bottle."
works. When you drop the $600, the first thing you do is call all your buddies over and you go, "Hey, this is a $600 bottle."
Yeah.
Then you pour it and they all go, "This is phenomenal."
Yeah, this is
Can't
good.
believe
It's the best whiskey I ever had.
Wow, and they're tweeting it and photographing it out. Then you give them something else that's better, and they're like, "That sounds good."
Yeah.
How much does that cost? $57. Nah, shit.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that's the Elijah Craig barrel proof. I got it on sale.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's junk.
Yeah.
That's junk.
Bring back the Pappy.
Yeah, give me that Pappy 12 again. They're both good. They're like the ECBP. Yes, I know it would go for about 70 or 80, probably more now too. You're on the 12?
Yep. There's does seem to be, I'll go back and forth there, definitely a lot more on the palate with it. A lot creamier, a lot richer, sweeter even.
Smoother, more rounded. It's funny though, the caramel's a lot softer here. It's more of a light, sweet finish rather than that caramel finish. Not a over, I always worry, and I know this doesn't already, but I always worry when I see the longer years that it's going to have a lot of oak influence. It doesn't. Smooth. Not as much as the malted. I don't get any malted grain on it.
It really is just it comes off as a more aged version of the Special Reserve. Take the Special Reserve, amplify the caramels, amplify the cinnamons, the honeys, the sweetness, the oak. See, I think 12 to 15 years is the perfect range for bourbons.
I don't know. See, for me, the bourbons get too much of the wood influence when you get up there in the years. I like my bourbons younger. So, and I like them with a high rye mash bill, which this is not. But I love the caramels that I get.
I'm an equal opportunity whiskey drinker.
Me too.
Young, old, rye.
Yeah, I'm just telling you my preferences. All right, yeah. The Reserve's a little bit rough around the edges, not as smooth as the 12. That malted grain dustiness is in there. Mouthfeel, dry powdered sugar. You can taste the age in the 12 year, but it's actually a lot less sweet.
I don't think so.
I get more of a floral note here and a subtler sweetness. Like I said, I don't get that strong caramel juice.
I'm able to detect a little bit of the acetone in the Special Reserve that I don't get in the 12 when they're just going side by side, and I didn't get that before.
Yep.
And
100%.
I forget what else. There was something else I was going to say about it.
Something about me being right.
Oh, the ABV. The Special Reserve seems a little harsher ABV wise, although they're probably both 45%.
They are.
Yep. They're both 45%. The ABV shows a little bit more on the Special Reserve probably because it's a little younger. So both good, both delicious, and the Weller Special Reserve at $17, $18. If you haven't tried it, I think you should.
Oh yeah, that's a steal. That's a steal, and I would not pay over $55 for that.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. At the most, it's a $50 bottle, $55 bottle.
Good quality bottle.
If you're paying $200 for Weller 12 years,
you deserve to be separated from your cash.
That is true.
Or you got so much cash, it's like you dropped a nickel.
Traveling dummy. G. McQuee.
Yes, G. McQuee.
On Instagram.
I like what he did.
He's going to Glengoyne Distillery. Boom, it's up there. You're looking at it. He's put our Cask 3 coin right in the O.
Love it.
There is no O. There is no O. It's our coin.
Looks big. Looks big. Is he wearing a Fitbit or is that a watch? I can't tell from here.
Well, it's a watch.
Oh, okay. Remember how I like to comment on things that are in the periphery?
There's a tree sticking up over the wall too.
It's called the Southern Willow. Looks like black granite is the base of that sign.
G. McQuee, thank you very much.
Great picture. We love our traveling dummies.
Our Patreon shoutouts, we got to get caught up here a little bit. We've had a few people come in. We had a couple of $3 supporters back in May. And we haven't gotten pictures from you.
Yep.
We're going to give you your shout out. If you want to send us a picture, we'll put it in a later episode.
Yes, we'll still throw the pic in. Send the pic if you're a $3 supporter to Bart. Bart at ScotchTestDummies.com. So if you're a $3 supporter, we'll throw a picture in. So we'll talk about your picture, and I'll reference like your watch or whatever, kind of like a traveling dummies. Some people don't want their picture in. That's fine too.
Yep.
I think some people don't even, maybe they've got messaging turned off in Patreon, also fine, so maybe you don't get the message. Just know if you're a $3 supporter, we'll put a photo up of you, fully clothed.
Well, mostly. I would say
Not
partially.
Yeah.
Partially.
Beachwear.
You have to
Would be
have
allowed.
the necessary parts covered.
The necessary parts, right. We've got to comply with YouTube's rules.
Yeah. If you want to send a picture of yourself in a Speedo, by all means, feel free.
Daniel?
All right, Sam Zed.
Yeah,
Sam Zed. Thank you very much.
We're saying it right.
Zed.
Z-E-Y-D. We believe that's
Z-E-Y-D.
Zed.
Yep.
Zed.
And Chandler Tyndall.
Chandler Tyndall, or is it Tyndall?
Tyndall?
See, I don't know. It's T-Y. Tyndall.
Chandler Tyndall. Thank you very much. Come on down. Chenandler Bong.
Chenandler?
Anybody know what Chenandler Bong is from?
That's got to be what? Friends?
Yes.
Yeah,
very good.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chenandler Bong.
Yeah.
And Patrick Kusher. Patrick Kusher! Come on down. You're the next contestant.
The Chupacabra's loving this.
The 12 Hours of Boom, July 7th. Now, this episode is airing. I was just looking on July 4th, the Wednesday before.
Right before the 12 hours.
So, it's Wednesday, July 4th, in 3 days. On Saturday, July 7th, our 12 Hours of Boom kicks off, second annual. We're going 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time.
10 to 10.
We got a
12 hours of boom.
Oh, first and the last episode are just us. Maybe Cousin Shane, of course, will be here, Shakes Pennington. But we got guests on the other 10 hours, the other 10 episodes. We'll do 45 minutes to 50 minutes with a 10 to 15 minute break in between each episode. Bring in a new guest. We've got authors. We've got whiskey authors. We've got Instagram people. We've got other whiskey tubers. A couple of distilleries, or a distillery, a couple of ambassadors.
McCarthy's.
So tune in July 7th in a few days.
Yeah, we're going to have fun.
Go to ScotchTestDummies.com, buy some merchandise, help support us. Go to Patreon, support us on Patreon.
Yep, show's always free, but the Patreon supporters keep us flowing. Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro. Dummies.